going to be covering some wrist and shoulder mobility drills. This is really good for people that tend to have elbow issues. If you're a golfer, tennis player, normally the issue is that you're over relying on one direction of rotation. So what we're going to be doing is we're introducing new drills that are going to be a way to force your body into that rotation that you generally aren't using and causing a lot of that tightness from the weak areas of the body. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to fold our wrists down, palms facing forward, and I just place my hands to either side. For a lot of people, this is enough. You don't have to hyperextend your elbows. You could keep them a little bit bent. I prefer that. You know, it's never good to hyperextend anything. And then from here, I'm just going to gently rock side to side. Some people who are not used to moving in this way, this can hurt. So don't make yourself hurt unless that's what you're into. I personally do this on a somewhat regular basis before I work out, before I foam fight, sometimes just in the morning before I really get to starting my day. And what this is going to do is this is going to help to stretch the underside of the forearm, but the act of going side to side actually introduces a little bit of the rotation in the wrist area. Now, again, not to its extreme, but we're just trying to introduce these movements. If double arm at the same time is too hard, you can open up and just go right down the middle. That way you have a free hand to support or push away from it if it's too much body weight. You can even just go down. You don't have to be completely flat. Over time, it becomes easier. Now the next thing we're going to start with, this time with the palm facing up, you're going to turn your fingers towards yourself and rest your knuckles and the back of your hand on the ground, the fingers pointing directly at yourself. I'm going to take my other hand and pin the hand down on the ground with the fingers open. And now I'm going to try to see if I can make this elbow rotate in place. And this starts looking really weird. But this can help to free up a lot of the rotators around the elbow that most people are kind of ignoring. We twist and we release. We twist and release. Now the last one, this is really where we start involving not just the forearms, but also the rotator cuff in the shoulder. And a lot of folks tend to have weakness because they're not very flexible in the overhead position. The people who would have a lot of flexibility are people who hang from trees or bars. If you do a lot of pull-ups, if you do a lot of rope climbing, and you get in that position where you're hanging with your arms overhead, that's one good way to, you know, gain some strength and flexibility. But for the rest of us, this is what else you can do. For this one, I'm going to stay on my knees and I'm going to place my hands down on the ground, fingers facing forward. And then from here, I'm actually going to internally rotate, turning my fingers inward until they point at myself. Now be careful not to turn the fingers outward. We want to go in, and just to show it again. From here, we rotate inward, and then I'm going to walk my knees back a little bit. And the next thing I want to do is bring my forehead down to the ground between my fingers. So I reach down, and I extend my arms and push through my shoulders, like I'm trying to push my body away from my hands. And then I'll go down, and I'll push once again. And those are three little routines that you can add to help with the wrist mobility, the elbow issues, and also help to increase the amount of rotation from your shoulder.